Well, I am at a loss for words, but I'm going to attempt to do a commentary. Obviously, credit to Atlanta. The toughness that they displayed and the togetherness and just the X's and O's. You had Gallo making shots on a mismatch because they had him on George Hill. You had Kevin Herter on Seth Curry a lot of the time getting a screen, and the Sixers were dropping on some of those, daring Kevin Herter to make plays, and Kevin Herter was like, yeah, I'm actually going to make some plays. He's a good player, of course, but no one expected him to have over 20 in this game. Trey Young, this was not his best game, but he was, of course, amazing throughout this series, and he did still have a lot of really good passes to Capella a lot of the time in the pick and roll, and he did he have one huge three? I believe he did over Ben Simmons in the fourth quarter. And, Trey Young has obviously elevated himself to somewhere in the rankings of the NBA. I don't know where, and that sort of thing. Honestly, it changes year to year outside of the top couple of guys or whatever. But he's clearly raised his stake. For the Sixers, man, really they lost this series overall because of blowing the 18-point lead in Game 4 and the 26-point lead in Game 5. But of course, they had to technically win it or lose it tonight. And man, you could convince me of anything right now with this Sixers team besides Embiid. Embiid is the one thing, and probably Seth Curry just because they need the shooting. But other than that, with Tobias, Ben, Doc, the entire bench, other guys, where do I go? Is it at times when the offense looks like they have nothing besides hope Embiid is good? Sure, there's some Tobias handoff plays. There's some Seth Curry movement. There's attempts to get Ben Simmons driving with screens and stuff. But there's just too many times where it's like, is there a plan right now? The other thing, too, is even if there is a specific plan, sometimes they're just trading two-pointers when other teams are making threes. Because they have how many guys who are going to chuck up three-pointers like that on this roster? It's not enough for today's NBA. Yeah, that's not the biggest reason why they're having offensive problems, but it's like kind of one of them. Look, I know Ben Simmons is going to get a lot of stuff for this one, and some of it's deserved, no doubt about it. You can say, look, the passing, the rebounding, the defense, cool, yeah, we all know. But what was it, 4 points on the day? And I'm sorry, but it can't be 4 points. It just can't be. If your fifth starter is giving you 4 points a game, even then it's kind of like, well, do we really want this guy out there? He had 5 points, excuse me. 6 points in Game 6, 8 points in Game 5. And look, man, I'm not going to hide it. I've been a big Ben Simmons guy. And I've said before, like, guys, stop trying to trade Ben Simmons. He's really good. It's getting tougher to hold that opinion at this point. Again, if you want to tell me he does things besides score, yeah, we know. We all know, okay? The guy was rightfully an all-defense first-team guy. And he had a number of great passes in this game. The one where he had a wide-open dunk and he threw it to Thibault, not one of them. Technically it was a cool pass, but, that should have been a dunk. And as far as where you go, look, I know the popular trade is Ben for CJ and, maybe Robert Covington as well. The shooting would certainly be better. I feel like CJ's pretty similar to Tobias, where, yeah, he'll give you a 20, but are you really, really confident in him in a big series? He had that huge Game 7 against the Nuggets a while back. I don't know. I'm super jumping the gun right now. But the point is that the Sixers need a guy like Jimmy. And they didn't want to keep him for whatever reason. They let him walk. And yeah, that team lost in round 2 as well, but that team lost off of the craziest shot of all time to a better team than this Hawks team. I don't think it's disrespectful to say the Kawhi Raptors were better than this Hawks team. So yeah, listen, there's going to be a lot of opinions on the Sixers, a lot of them, between Ben, Joel, Tobias, Doc. Do you fire Doc Rivers? The Sixers are at a hell of a moment in their franchise right now where they could overhaul damn near everything And I'm pretty sure a lot of Sixers fans would be okay with it. And it's just going to be fascinating to see what they want to do. I don't confidently have an answer besides you obviously have to do something. You give me like a day to think about this, and perhaps it's just, I'm trying to put this out like right after the game ends. But clearly it needs to be something. Maybe it's just a matter of you get better around the edges, or you try to get another north-south type of offensive player, because Korkmaz was the other starter in this game. Before him it was Danny Green, and what if instead of those type of guys it was, just throwing a name out of a hat here, like TJ Warren if he was healthy, some 16-17 point guy who can hold up defensively and give you a little bit more juice on offense. Maybe that's the answer. As far as tradable contracts, I mean, the one was Danny Green's $15 million expiring, and now that's gone. I mean, could they have acquired Kyle Lowry at the deadline? I don't know. I don't remember the specifics of it. I think Maxey might have been the make it or break it guy in that move. As far as the James Harden thing, yeah, I mean, assuming Harden's healthy, yeah, I'd rather have James Harden than Ben Simmons. It's just the matter of it was like the age, Simmons 24, Harden 31, whatever it is. Also, it would have been a weird thing of like the Rockets are now trying to build through Ben Simmons and John Wall, and that could have been a little awkward, but anyway, yeah. The Hawks and the Bucks are your Eastern Conference Finals. Did anybody have that one? Like halfway through the regular season? I don't know. I don't think so, is my guess. What is the early take on that series? I guess it's Drew Holiday and Trey Young. I think I mentioned that in a previous video. The other thing to think about is, I mean, can Capella and John Collins and Gallo form a wall to block Giannis from the rim? Is Nate McMillan better than Budenholzer? Who's defending Giannis for the Hawks? Is it Collins? Is it Capella? I mean, it would have been DeAndre Hunter, but now he's gone, so that'll be, I guess, the first question of that series. Look, I know Atlanta's on an absolute roll right now. I think the Bucks will win that series. I really don't think that's mean to Atlanta to believe that. But really, the conversation right now is about Philly, because, again, we fast forward 3 months, 4 months, or whatever. Not even that much, like 2 months, because the offseason's going to happen real quick after the finals. And man, it's going to be something. And again, whatever direction you want to go in on who should be on this Philly team and who shouldn't, and should they overhaul everything or just try to sort of be a little safer about it, I don't have the answer for you. But it's definitely going to be a hell of an offseason.